Hey garden friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chrissy and this is Barefoot in the Garden. Today we're going to be talking about this super awesome, beautiful Hosta. This is a perennial plant that you can use for landscaping. It adds some really nice beauty to the area. The leaves on this one kind of have a cream frame around them. I don't know the exact term for it, but it was just super beautiful. Sitting there in Home Depot, I couldn't leave her there, especially for this price. The other local nurseries that I visited, a Hosta plant that looks like this beautiful, and this big. It's not so big, but it's a pretty good size for a started plant. They were going for anywhere from $9 to like $15 for a plant this size. So I noticed that this one has a couple different sections. So what we're going to be doing today is just separating out this Hosta plant so that I can get a 3-for-1. Most people that would buy a plant like this, depending on the area that you're looking to put the plant in, most people will just take this out of the pot and plant this entire guy. If you look in closely, I don't know if you can see this too well, the plant divides in certain spots. So like this clump over here can be separated out, and then we can get another one over here, and then we have this middle piece. So I can get 3 out of this one plant that I got for $6. So to me, that's freaking amazing. So if you didn't know that you can divide your hostas, stick around and I'll show you how. So I have these planters that I haven't set up yet, and it rained yesterday, so I have some rainwater already inside. So that's what I'm going to be using just to store the hostas before I put them in their permanent home. And these guys are perennials, so in the fall or the winter when they die back, you just cut them at the top and then they regrow the foliage in the spring, and they're just so freaking awesome. I'm really getting into perennials because plant once, they come every year for you. I love the way that they did this plant. Plenty of room for the roots to spread. It's not root bound. I purchased it at the perfect time. The roots are really tender right now since it is still so young. So I'm gonna try to be as gentle as I can. I'm just gonna put it in here first so that I don't lose any of this soil. I'm gonna take some of this excess off, and then I'm gonna bring the camera in so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is find that first little separation that happens, because that's where I'm gonna wanna take the first section off. So you can just go in here and start ripping the plant apart really gently. You know what? I'm gonna go grab my Hori Hori. So I'm gonna be using my Bare Bones Hori Hori for this job. It's really nice because it has a serrated edge and then a sharp edge on the other side. So I'm just gonna be able to go in and separate this off really well. So like I said, the plant kind of makes its own separation when it grows out a new set of shoots. So I'm just gonna go in between there. I hope you guys can see this. Maybe I should go around this way. So I just want to jump in real quick, and just to give you guys an advance notice, the Hori Hori I feel was completely unnecessary. I could have just pulled this apart with my hands because it is such a young plant. I ended up doing some damage with the Hori Hori. So if you have a young Hosta that you're trying to separate, just try to pull it apart with your hands first before you go in with any tools. Just gonna go in here and cut that off. It's kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. Uh-oh. Okay, so that one didn't get any roots, which is terrible. But we have these 2 sections here. pull apart. And then you're left with one here and one here. And these still have roots on them, which is really good. I'm not sure what I should do with this one. Put it in here and see how it does. Amateur mistake. So I have these two. I'm just gonna put these in some water so that I can go dig their hole and amend it before I put them in. You don't want to let these dry out, so make sure you have some water on hand when you're doing this step. What I'm gonna do here is just, oh, there's a grub. I hate leaving them exposed. Do y'all ever take your grubs and like cover them up somewhere else so they can be okay? I feel so bad when I dig them up. So anyways, I'm gonna just remove a good little space of this native clay. I'm just gonna amend this a little bit. I don't have time for no dig right here. So I'm just gonna amend it with some compost and some really good garden soil. Okay, so now after looking at the area, I want to include 2 hostas in this hole since it's a bigger hole. I don't know if I'm gonna put one on the other side yet or not, but we're gonna plant these in here. And then I'll put the other one over here. Pack it down. I'm gonna make a little clay border just to keep this soil from running out. I'm just gonna put the clay that I dug out and make a little temporary border around here until I figure out what I'm gonna do with it. I have some sunflowers over here, and then in here, this is an elephant ear, and they're growing pretty slow. And I don't know if this is too much water, like, I don't know what's going on in there, but they're growing really, really slow. Who out there grows elephant ears? Will I have problems with it? I heard they were really easy to grow. So I was looking forward to them coming up really fast, but that's not the case. They're growing slow. If you see in this little section here, these are all weeds, so those are all going to be gone. Don't worry about those. But in the middle, that's the elephant ear coming up. And then I have 2 mammoth sunflowers that I just wanted for some color. Okay, and then we have the 2 hostas over there. So the last one that I have is the one without roots. I don't know if it's gonna survive or not, but I think I'm gonna clear these weeds out and I'm gonna add that hosta in there and see if it survives. So see what can happen when you're separating plants and you can't see the connection pieces on everything. You might just come across a situation where you chop the plant and you no longer have any roots connected to the plant. So I could water root it, and I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing because it's such a beautiful piece that I don't want to end up losing her by putting it into the soil before it's ready. So I'm gonna take this guy inside, or this little lady inside actually. So I have some rainwater And I'm actually just gonna leave her in here outside because she was outside at the nursery. I'm not gonna bring her inside and get her used to the temperatures indoors. I'm just gonna leave her outside with her sisters and see if she starts putting on any roots. It's just so pretty. So fatalities happen like this. So if they do end up happening to you, just assess the situation, try to take the best action. In this case, I was gonna go ahead and add her into the ground back there because I was excited. But as I thought, I figured, you know what, it doesn't have any roots yet. I don't want it to die. So I'm gonna take the smart road and I'm gonna try to water propagate it so that her survival rate is higher. I just wanted to give you guys a peek of this super beautiful planter that I assembled myself. It's not like a green stalk. It's actually from the Dollar Tree. I just painted them and put them on a stake so that they're sturdy in the wind. And I planted these guys with green beans, bush beans. So this is the definition of a green stalk. And also the potatoes are coming in. You see them all peeking out. The corn might have to do something different. It's just not thriving. And I had a similar situation with corn last year. So we might have to rethink this whole corn deal. Yeah, that's it for this video. Wanted to share my first set of hostas with you guys. Me separating them, planting some of them in the ground, and then I'm gonna try to water propagate the other one. But until next time, guys, keep growing your own food, keep loving life, just try to be happy and spend as much time with your family as you can. And of course, blessings.